Welcome to Wandering. I'm Shane Woodford. Today we're exploring beautiful Southern Langeland in Denmark.
Langeland is an island in the Danish archipelago sandwiched between Fyn and Lolland. We're going to start in the south and work our way up. Bagenkop in Southern Langeland features the largest fishing harbor in southern Denmark. With a population of less than 500 people, the town's more harbor than homes. It has a lovely church, which is also Langeland's smallest. The church, built in 1920, makes it the newest as well. A few minutes outside of town is the beautiful Herregården Broløkka Manor, unfortunately closed while we visited. Built in the 1700s, today it's a getaway destination with 43 rooms offering guests a taste of living like nobility of the past and culinary delights to match. Langeland offers some amazing natural beauty, especially here in the south. This is Doan's Klint, which has some pretty spectacular views and a number of walking trails meandering up and down the shoreline for you to enjoy. Just up the coast is Kelsnor Fjord, or Lighthouse. It's been here since 1905. Before that, there was an iron stand where a lantern was lit and hoisted up each and every night. Southern Langeland is unique in offering a place to see wild horses. The horses, Exmoor ponies, are related to the ancient wild horses that once roamed Europe and are now extinct. The herd is free to roam inside a large fenced-off area and lives with the least possible human interference. If you're in Southern Langeland, a visit to the Langeland Fort is a must. This military base and intelligence gathering post is now a fascinating Cold War museum.
The Langeland Fort here in Denmark played a crucial role in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Matter of fact, this is where it all began. It was Danes here, keeping an eye on their communist bloc neighbors during the Cold War in 1962, who spotted Russian merchant vessels with missiles on board them bound for Cuba.
The United States' answer to what Adlai Stevenson termed Soviet blackmail in Cuba was a quarantine of all offensive weapons being shipped from Russia to that island fortress. The U.S. threw up a steel fence, prepared to stop any vessel carrying materials of war.
Once in the museum, you're free to wander the once sprawling military installation grounds and its many exhibits, along with its beautiful views. It walks you through not just the history of this place, but every aspect of the Cold War itself. There are even some fun, hands-on things to do. Each gun bunker offers different themed displays, from historical base operations, spies, and espionage, to the propaganda war for hearts and minds between communism and capitalism. After decades of neutrality, Denmark came out of the Second World War, shaking off the shock of Nazi occupation and facing a new threat in the communist bloc. In 1949, Denmark joined NATO. A small country, it was the gatekeeper to the strategically important Baltic Straits. Langeland Fort was built in 1953 for surveillance of those straits and military command of the area. At its height, 400 personnel lived and worked on the base, keeping an eye on marine traffic and maintaining its formidable weaponry. The exhibit on the secret war between intelligence agencies is fascinating, showing the tools of the trade as spies pried vital intelligence from their enemies abroad while defending against espionage and the leaking of secrets at home. This KGB agent looks super familiar. While the Battle of Spies was largely fought in the shadows, the propaganda battle was much more overt. The war for hearts and minds was fought on athletic fields and even in the space race. There's even a preserved section of the Berlin Wall in the museum. After wandering through the bunker displays, visitors to the fort can get up close and personal with a Danish submarine. The Springer served for 27 years before being decommissioned in 1990. It is now a museum ship here on Langeland. You can go inside and get a sense of what the cramped conditions were like serving deep underwater inside a submarine. You can also walk the decks of the Aske, A minesweeper built in 1941 for the Danish Navy, it was finally decommissioned in 2005, serving Denmark for a remarkable number of years before taking up residence here in the Langeland Fort. Not just in the water, but in the air as well. On display are 2 fighter jets, one from each side of the Iron Curtain, one a Danish Air Force Saab F-35, the other a Russian-made MiG-25 fighter from Poland. Leaving the fort, it's time to explore more of Southern Langeland. This is Kong Humble's Grave, or King Humble's Grave, one of the longest ancient barrows in Denmark. The dolmen's ringed by 77 large stones with a burial chamber in the middle. No one's sure if King Humble was real or a myth, but human remains were found in the 4,000-year-old grave. A carving of King Humble can be found in the nearby town of Humble. Ancient Stone Age grave sites can be found all over Denmark, but they're concentrated in higher numbers on Fyn and here on Langeland. Our next stop is Skovsgård, or Forest Farm Manor, a tourist destination and organic farm run by the Danish Society for Nature Conservation. It offers a wealth of experiences for visitors, including taking a peek inside the historic main manor house, which includes its own theater room. The farm sits on 960 acres of farm and forest land, which are open to explore, as well as offering exhibits, museum space, and a cafe serving meat, vegetables, and beer, all harvested or made right here. We'll end our visit to Southern Langeland at Ristinga Klint and its beautiful ocean vistas. Thank you for joining us. See you on the next wandering.